On today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a gorgeous Christmas wreath with monogram letters for your Christmas decorating 2020. Keep watching. Hello everyone, I am Ramon. Welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm super excited you're here today because on today's video, I'm gonna show you how to create a gorgeous Christmas wreath that is larger than life with some monogram letters. In this case, I'm gonna use the R and the H for Ramon at Home. And this is a rather large scale wreath that is gonna be hanging on my studio. However, you can scale it down at your size, and I know they sell these letters in different sizes. So if you are interested in how to create a gorgeous, and trust me when I tell you it's gorgeous, Christmas wreath, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends as we are just now getting started with the holiday season. And I am so excited to get started showing you guys all of these ideas for your holiday decorating. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. And if you already subscribed, don't forget to turn the notification bell so you're notified about every single update because this holiday season, you will be dazzled. All right, let's get started. All right, you guys, so step number one is gonna be to put the lights on this wreath. And before I do that, I wanna let you know that this wreath is inspired by my mom's house decorated for Christmas. Last year, I did a series on her decorations. I did the banister going down the stairs. It was really beautiful and traditional. We did it on top of the hatch and it was just as beautiful. And then also I show you how to create a gorgeous centerpiece. And all of those videos will be linked down below. So if you're new to this channel and you have not seen last year's house decorated for Christmas and the tour, I'm gonna link them down below so you can catch up. And the reason why I bring this up is because I'm gonna use all of the materials. A lot of you have asked me to repurpose some of the materials from last year because you know we're left with all of those things. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use everything that I use on my mom's house and I'm gonna put it on this wreath to show you how you can, well, recycle and upcycle the things that you already have. All right, so like I said, I have 200 lights in here, and the reason why there's so many is because this wreath is rather large. Let's just put it that way. So I'm gonna start by dropping these lights on the floor, and I'm gonna go ahead and make sure they work. First of all, before you add any lights to any Christmas tree or any wreath, you better make sure that it works. So I'm gonna disappear for a second, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab my extension cord, which I have right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in and make sure that all of those lights, yep, they still work. So I'm gonna start, actually I'm gonna leave them plugged in and I'm gonna start from the other end. And I wanna start right here on the top. Now, if you don't know how to light a tree or how to add the lights, I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna start right here. And what you wanna do is you wanna go ahead and grab one of these bristles and just twist some of those lights and then bend that bristle down. And so you need to go in a clock motion just like any other wreath. What you need to do is go on a clock motion so it's evenly distributed. And what you need to do is you need to pull up, grab one of these bristles, and then pull down. This is the easiest way because you don't want to make you want to make sure that they're not so stuck in because then you don't want to fight them when you take them off. And this is the same thing for when you light a Christmas tree. Now, on a Christmas tree, you usually use about 100 lights per foot of your Christmas tree. But for this wreath, I'm just gonna go ahead and use 200 because I know that 200 will be plenty. Now this wreath is about, I wanna say about 5 foot or 5 feet tall. I'm gonna disappear as I go down, but, and I want it to be very visible because, well, the bigger I think the better. So, and basically just zigzag them, grabbing one of those bristles and just zigzag. As you guys can see, I'm just going down and up, and you have to make sure that you go in a clock motion because that way it'll all be evenly distributed. And as you guys can see, just zigzag and you do the same. I'm gonna make a video, in my next video, I'm gonna show you guys how to frost flowers. I'm gonna show you how to frost a wreath, and I'm gonna show you how to frost a Christmas tree. And it's a very easy technique. And these first videos are gonna be more about these DIYs that I want you guys to know, they have as reference because we're gonna get to crafting. Once we get to crafting, well, we won't stop. Let's put it that way. There is so many ideas and videos that I wanna show you this holiday season. And I just hope that if you are new to this channel, well, you turn your notification bell on so you are notified every time that there is a new video. We'll be posting videos Wednesdays and Saturdays at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in the morning. However, because there's so many ideas that I want to give to you guys, there might be some other days that I post, so you want to be notified. All right, so we got to the point where we almost used 100 lights one way, and I'm at the point where I have my plug-in. So what you want to do is you want to grab 2 of your fingers or 3 of your fingers and just swirl them like this until you have lights again. Then you're going to go down here and look for a bristle. Here's one right here, and what you want to do is just go ahead and tie this bristle, grab another one, and then tie them together like this, and then you want to hide those and make them disappear, and you just continue with your lights. And I'm going to go ahead and do another round, and I'll be right back with you, okay? Keep watching. All right, you guys, so step number 1 is done, and that was adding the lights. Now, I do want to mention real quick that the hula hoop is just a 5-foot hula hoop, and this is just basic garland that I went ahead and twist tied, and then also with the bristles just twist tied it to the form of the hula hoop, and then I just went ahead and give it a fluff. But there's going to be so many things in this wreath, and it's going to be so gorgeous, you won't even see the hula hoop at all. So the very first step is that I want to do the R and the H for Ramon at home, and I want to make sure that I kind of do something fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of my bolt wire. So I want to do plenty because I don't want to be missing some of it. And we're going to secure at some point. So I'm going to grab probably about 3 feet of it. I think that should be plenty. And I'm just going to go ahead and, because the R has right here, actually this actually has hoops right here. We'll use them if we need to, but what I'm going to do first to secure is I'm going to go ahead and go through the R right here, and I'm going to go ahead and twist back, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it right here, and I want it to be kind of cattywampus so it's a little bit more fun. And I'm going to go through the back, and I'm going to secure this and just tie it really, really tight so it doesn't move. And like I said, if you need to use the hoops on it, I'm gonna go over here so I can twist it really well. Just go ahead and twist them. You know what? I can see that I will be able to use them right here. So just make sure you twist this wire really tight so it doesn't come crashing down. And then I'm gonna cut a little bit more of my wire, probably about 1.5 feet. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and go through that hole, because as you guys can see, it's falling forward. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and go through the hole right here to straighten it out. And I'm gonna go ahead and just actually twist this like this. Then I'm gonna go through the back right here, and I'm gonna go through the hula hoop and just twist this and just pull as much as I can to straighten the R like this. So we have the R. That's cute. There's gonna be some other elements. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do the H over on that side. And what I wanted to do is I want it to be a little bit lower. These would be really cute. They sell this, actually these are from Hobby Lobby. They sell them in a smaller size, and I really do think that these would be cute for your home with your last names letters. Let's see, this is upside down like this. So I want the H to be probably right about here, like I said, and I want it to be a little bit more fun, more than straightforward. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie this right here, and then also has this bar right here that you can use to secure. But for this particular purpose, I'm just gonna go ahead and tie it. So I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so now that we have the R and the H all secure in place, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and add my ribbons. And I'm gonna start by adding these bows. And for the R, I think I wanna go ahead and put it on the bottom right here. So I'm gonna go ahead, I already have one made, pre-made. And also what I did is I went ahead and just fluffed the garland. But like I told you, we're gonna put so many elements in here that the garland is basically just to be able to attach. And that's one thing that I want everybody to know. When you have an evergreen garland, whether it's for spring, for summer, for fall, it's just so you're able to attach to your design. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this bow right here, like that, and it has some tails. This was the bow that was on top of my mom's Hutch. I haven't even actually undo it, but look how pretty it looks. And then I wanna go ahead and add a bow up here on the top. So for that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna look for some ribbon that it's small enough for just a bow, and I think this one will just do. As you guys can see, I save my ribbons at the end of the season, and I just go ahead and store them so that way I don't have to buy new ribbons. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a tiny little bow. Well, not so tiny, I want it to be matching and width, but I don't want it to be so full and the tail is not so long because it's gonna go on the top on this side. And as you guys can see, I only had enough for 2 loops, but I have more ribbon right here. So what you wanna do is you wanna go ahead and start over with another ribbon, and that way you recycle all of your ribbon. So I have 3 on each side. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 on this side, just like this. And all you have to do is pinch. How cute is that? All right, so now what I need to do is I need to go ahead and secure it. So I'm gonna use some of this same bolt wire. And as you guys can see, I'm just dropping things on the floor because it is easier than try to be so organized, at least for me here in the studio. And then I'll just go ahead and take a few minutes and clean after. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some of this bolt wire and I'm gonna cut some of it right here. This table is really come in handy to have my product in here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and secure this. If you don't know how to make a bow, I have a video on how to make a bow, so I'm gonna link it down below. I always like to warn you that that video, the music was really loud because it was one of my very first videos I ever made. All right, so now that we have our bow, you need to go ahead and fluff your bow, fluff. So we're gonna go ahead and install it right here. And just lifting some of this greenery, I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here on the top, and I'm gonna secure on the back. Just make sure that you pull really tight so it's okay. Now that your bow is secure, you wanna go ahead and come in here and fluff it and pull those tails. If you have any tails, like I want this one to go up like this. We'll secure in a second. So as you can see, I went ahead and added both of the bows, and this one has tails going down, this one does not. And then if you remember last year in my mom's house, I had used this plaid ribbon as well with the burlap ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and add some of this ribbon in the parts where there is no bow. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the plaid on top, and it's just gonna be a touch of ribbon. So I'm gonna go ahead and pinch right here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bring this down here. Once again, going on a clock motion, what you wanna do is you wanna give it a little bit of a loop, and then you wanna find some of those bristles and just secure it like this. And we're gonna go all the way around, and what you wanna do is you wanna separate those because you wanna see both of the ribbons. Then right here, you twist, we're gonna go up a little bit. Then once again, about 10 inches, then I'm gonna go ahead and do yet another loop right here. And this is something that we're gonna fluff at the end. You know, when I work with ribbons, I always just like to add my ribbons, and then at the end I fluff that way. Look right here, I ran out of burlap, so I'm gonna grab another one, and this is just so you don't go out and buy more ribbon. Then you pinch right here and you'll bring it in and just grab one of your bristles and separate. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do yet another one going behind the bow. Then we're gonna pinch right here. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this holiday season. So far, I've shown you 2 videos on the tour of Shinoda Design Center, and that was just to get the season kick-started, and I had so much fun showing those videos, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed them as much as I did. And also be sure to come back every Wednesday and Saturday, like I said, because you will not want to miss any of those videos coming up. All right, so I have this right here. Just go ahead and fluff. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the bottom, and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. As you can see, I went ahead and added all of the ribbon. I went ahead and did some loops with the plaid and the burlap, just going all throughout the wreath. And like I said, we're gonna still hide some of that with our picks of greenery and other items. But I just wanna mention that I went ahead and added some tails up here to the top to kind of continue the bow up, and then also over here on the bottom to continue it down. There is no need to use all of this ribbon because it's your more expensive ribbon. So just using a little touch of it right here and just let it blend in with the other ribbons. They are less expensive. So the next item that I'm gonna add is gonna be this really pretty greenery. This is a long needle pine that I use on the steps as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and start adding this all throughout. And for this, you don't really have to twist because as you can see, that garland is really thick. Now I do want to give you a few pointers. When you're using something like this, just go ahead and fluff first, and then you wanna do one up, and then you wanna go ahead and do one down like this. As you can see, it really is thickening the shape of the wreath. All right, so you wanna skip right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here, but not without fluffing, as I said. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add yet another one over on this side, and it's gonna help us to give this wreath a lot of girth, like that. Then I'm gonna skip right here where the bow is, so I'm gonna go right down here. So I'm actually gonna move over here. So once you move sides, you have to keep in mind that we're going all on the same direction, as I said before, on a clock motion, so that way you don't lose your shape of your wreath. And this garland that I use as a base is really thick, so it really just hangs on to it. And because it's just gonna be hanging right here, there is really no need to secure them that well, because it's not gonna be moved. However, if you need to secure them, just twist tie that with the bristles. So I'm gonna go ahead and add one right there. I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here. Oh, but it needs to go this way, like this. Actually, I'm gonna start right here. This one I need to twist right here in the back. And just go all on the same, as I said, on the same movement. This is looking real cute. All right, so I'm gonna add one here. And all of these will be fluffed at the end before we hang it. Okay, I'm gonna add one down here. You really don't see it very well, but just for continuity. That's really cute. So the next element we're gonna add is gonna be a really pretty red poinsettia. Keep watching. So this red poinsettia was also on my mom's staircase on top of her hutch. It was all over the place, and since we already have them, why not go ahead and get them out and use them so you can create something else. If you wanna change your decor theme this year, just go ahead and use them for something else. And for this particular wreath, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna first of all open them up and fluff them like this. And I'm gonna start right here on top of the R. So I'm just gonna go ahead and insert one. Now what I do wanna do is I wanna go ahead and clear some clusters. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a cluster up here. So I'm gonna cluster as many as I can on the same spot because they'll be more visible, but not without opening these blooms. Look how pretty these are. I hope you guys can see, but they're all glittered. And actually these poinsettias are from Hobby Lobby a few years ago. And I just absolutely love how gorgeous they are. So I'm gonna go ahead and add it right here. As I mentioned, you wanna make sure you cluster as many as you can on the same spot, because that will add more depth and dimension, and it just creates a focal point. Look at that, just by adding all of those poinsettias right there, it really helps to add. And then right here on the bottom, I'm gonna add probably like 3, not very many, because I don't want it to take away from the bow, but I do want them to show. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this guy right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and actually just 2, that's all it needs. It's one here and one here. Look at that, how pretty. Then we'll go ahead and fluff this bow at the end. I always tell myself that, fluff the bow at the end. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do another cluster right here, now without opening them. Make sure you play with every single wire of them. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here. And look how cute that is. I have like 20 of them. I collected these throughout the years. If you collect anything for Christmas, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what is it that you collect. I collect poinsettias and then also nutcrackers. I have so many of them. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here. So I want it basically to be on top of my bows. Look how pretty that is. And I'm gonna go ahead and add a third one here. Some of them go under the greenery, and that's fine because what that does is create some depth. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here by this greenery, like that, and then I'm gonna add a few more on the bottom, and I think that will be it for our poinsettias. Okay, I'm gonna add one right here, like that, and I have one more. I don't know if you're seeing this, but you'll see it when I hang this up. I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here. And I have one left that had dropped, so I'm gonna find a place for it. And I think it's gonna be down here. Perfect. How cute is that? You have clusters of poinsettias, you have your ribbons, you have your lights. So we're gonna add some ornaments to really make it look Christmassy. Let me get those ready and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so I have all of these clusters of ornaments. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and set them down here, make sure they don't spill everywhere. And if you have not seen my video where I explain everything about the clusters of ornaments, I'm gonna link it down below. It's about the cluster of ornaments and ribbon waves. And you guys will learn so much. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that you, if you're new to the channel, haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the spot like right here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just tie my ornament cluster right there. And I have so many of them, so I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up. I'll be right back with you. Guys, so we've added all of our ornaments and it's looking really good, but it is time to add the finishing touch, and that's going to be our flyaways. No Ramon at Home wreath has ever been done without flyaway, and what that is this wispy material that you can actually bend and just let it fly out of your wreath. And I'm gonna show you, this actually was a really long stem that I just cut into pieces. That is another thing that I can recommend to you. If you buy something like this, I really do recommend to go ahead and just cut it, because you will get more bang for your buck. I know sometimes we pay some money and we're just afraid to cut our pieces, but look what that does. It's just going to go ahead and extend the shape of my wreath, and it just gives it that glitter, and it's gonna make it look fuller. And I have two types. I have this type that is like a glittered eucalyptus, but then also I have this really pretty ornament bowl, which is like a micro mini ornament bowl. It's gonna look really good. But if you've been following the channel, you know that I like to add one item at a time. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these guys right here. And look what that does. It really does extend the shape of your wreath. And I'm gonna go one in, one out. And remember, what goes up must come down, and what happens to the left happens to the right. And that way you'll have a very cohesive look. So I'm gonna go ahead and add another one. I'm gonna add this one right here. Perfect. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here on the outside to extend the shape right here. So I'm gonna continue adding these guys, just going on a circle motion. I'm gonna go through the R right here. Then I'm gonna go behind the R to make sure that I have a very cohesive look. And then I'm gonna add one right here on the back. What I like about this is because they have a really thick wire. This came from Shinoda Design Center, so if you guys wanna know where that came from. So I'm gonna go ahead and add it right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and add one up here on the top. Make sure that it's cohesive. You have to make sure that it's going all one direction. So then I'm gonna switch sides. I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna put one behind the H. And then I'm gonna make one come out of the H here, like this. There you go. So now we're gonna go all the way down over here. I'm gonna leave a few of them left for when I'm done hanging this. In case I have to fluff, I'll know where to put them. All right, so now I'm gonna move to this micro bowl one. So I have 4, but I wanna use them because I think they are so cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and find some spots where they'll be seen, like right here, as you guys can see. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add one probably right here behind the R on this side. Then I'm gonna come over here to the H, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Make sure they're seen from everywhere. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here to the bottom. And as you guys can see, only 4. They went all throughout. So one on the top, one on the bottom, one on the left, one on the right. And now it's time to fluff it all, get it all together, hang it, and show you what it looks like. So keep watching. Okay, so the wreath is all hung up high where it's gonna be here in my studio. And as I told you in the very beginning of this video, this look was inspired by my mom's house decorated for Christmas last year. And as I told you, there's going to be a full playlist linked down below. And also I'm gonna put on the iCard right now, right here, so you guys can check it out. But what really made this statement special in the staircase last year was these beautiful pheasant feathers that I absolutely love. And then also this magnolia foliage. I love magnolia because it makes it look very expensive and very Ralph Lauren almost. So what I'm going to do, and I already did on this side, is I added a few of them, and remember, always going on that circular motion. So I'm gonna use 2 on this side, and as you guys can see right here, they just point out, they're very graceful with the points. I also love them. And so what I'm going to do on this side right here is I'm gonna do 3 on this R, and I'm gonna start right here, just gonna go ahead and you guys will see how much of a difference this will make. So I'm gonna go ahead and point right here and just make sure that goes into the garland. And look at that. It just absolutely extends the shape of your wreath and it gives it so much oomph and pizzazz. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and open my bow and just insert this one right here. So there's one coming down and there's one going up, and I feel like the other one needs to be right here. And for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and bend these feathers just a little bit so it really gives it a little bit of air. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this one. I'm gonna move over to this side. I'm gonna go ahead and add this one right here like this. And look how pretty that looks. So to finish it all off, I'm gonna grab some of this magnolia foliage. I had a bundle or a bush and I just went ahead and clipped it. And I'm gonna find some places like this right here between all of my poinsettias. So it looks like there's some foliage. I'm gonna go ahead and add some of that. At this point, you could add some glue if you wanted to glue it all together. I'm gonna add one right here. And I just love that bigger foliage, whether I'm using fresh flowers or Christmas decorating. I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here with that. And I have 3 more. So I'm going to go ahead and add one over on this side right here. And as you guys can see, this bigger foliage really shows on the design. I'm gonna move over to this side. And I'm gonna add one right here by the edge. And I think I'm gonna add yet another one right here. And just like that, you have a beautiful, gorgeous Christmas wreath that can be scaled down by using the same techniques that I show you guys how to use on this wreath. What do you think? Well, there you have it. This is the beautiful wreath that will be hanging here in my studio this decorating season for Christmas 2020. And I cannot wait to read your comments. So leave me a comment down below and let me know what do you think. Is this something that you would like to recreate on a smaller scale? And then also, I want to know if you've seen my mom's home and home tour decorated for Christmas last year. So leave me a comment down below. As I told you before, they do have these letters for a smaller wreath where you can actually put it on your door. So if you like this look, I really recommend to just follow the instructions and replicate it. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, I really would like for you to follow me on Instagram, because this holiday season, if you recreate any of the looks here Ramon at home for Christmas, I would like to share them with everybody. So follow me on Instagram for that. All of my social medias will be linked down below. All right, well, that's all I have for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share with a friend. Let them know that Christmas 2020 at Ramon at Home starts right now. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you already subscribed, don't forget to turn the notification bell on, because you will not want to miss any of this year's Christmas videos. I promise you will be dazzled. Okay, you can watch more videos right now. And until next time, bye.